about when you think about interviewing? Many people think of job interviews. Actually, interviews can happen in a variety of forms. You can interview for a scholarship, counsel a friend, or have a persuasive interview with a committee to convince them of an idea or projects. 4-Hers have the opportunity to develop interview skills in out-of-county and state award interviews. These interview skills are lifelong skills that will help them long after their schooling ends. In this video, we will talk about interviewing, the tools needed to be successful, and will help to prepare you for those out-of-county and state award interviews. So what is the definition of an interview? An interview is interactional because they're exchange or sharing of roles, responsibilities, feelings, and information. If one person does all the talking and the other does all the listening, an interview is not taking place. Interviews may involve 2 or more people. Often the 2 groups are divided into the role of interviewer and interviewee. The interviewing party usually has an important goal or reason for interviewing the person in front of them. For example, an employer may be interviewing candidates to fill an open position. Interviews are different than social conversations in that they follow a fairly organized pattern and structure. An interview usually begins with a greeting and handshake, a get-to-know-you question-and-answer period, followed by a more detailed questioning period, and ends with a handshake. As we will see, the greeting and handshake set the tone for the whole interview.
A handshake is a universal greeting. When you enter the room and start to introduce yourself, hold out your right hand. The other person will do the same. Make sure you are smiling and making eye contact as you do so. When you grasp the person's hand, lean forward slightly. Fit your hand into theirs, far enough that the webs almost touch. Use a firm shake with your fingers extended out and shake once or twice. Then let go. Avoid the limp fish grip. The handshake is just the beginning of nonverbal communication that happens during an interview. Nonverbal communication can be defined as the gestures, facial expressions, body postures, and even clothing of those communicating. It is everything that is communicated without words. In interviewing, it is important to pay particular attention to eye contact, facial expressions, and body posture.
Eye contact is very important for an interview. Looking down or away might be seen as a sign of nervousness or dishonesty. During the interview, make eye contact. They say that the eyes are the windows of the soul, and we can definitely communicate with them. A wide-eyed expression, for example, can signal surprise or fear, while downcast eyes can symbol sadness, fatigue, or disappointment.
For an interview, you will most often be directed to sit in a chair by a table. Interviewees should sit comfortably, but with a straight back. Avoid slouching. You may reposition the chair closer to the table if it makes you more comfortable. Place hands on the table in front of you in a relaxed manner. Legs should remain uncrossed or crossed at the ankles and be still under the table.
Viewing, you should smile frequently. Raised eyebrows can express interest or surprise. A slight nod communicates understanding about the topic or agreement. It is important that your facial expressions match what you are saying verbally. A pleasant, attentive manner will communicate that you are friendly, interested, and engaged in the interview.
As Jenna mentioned at the beginning of this video, 4-H offers opportunities to practice and perfect your nonverbal and verbal interviewing skills. Out-of-county interviews is one of these opportunities. For an out-of-county interview, you need to wear business, professional clothing, the type of clothing you would wear to a job interview. Avoid extreme undress, get a good night's rest the night before so you will look fresh and energetic. Plan to arrive at least 15 minutes early and allow time to find the building. Preparation will help you to feel more comfortable. Before you show up, analyze your 4-H experiences and try to identify what made that learning opportunity valuable. Think about those moments when you have had the opportunity to show your leadership qualities, have taken personal responsibility, or organized a team for a project. Have you taught others about a skill or topic? Judges are also interested in growth. To show this, you might think and communicate a story of a time when you struggled with a skill and the ways that you went about finding success. When your interviewer calls on you, introduce yourself and offer your hand for a handshake. Quickly learn the names of all the people who are interviewing you. project enthusiasms and interests. Don't forget eye contact. When a question is asked of you, it's appropriate and a good idea to pause and collect your thoughts. Your comments should give examples and be concise. If you don't understand the question, don't be afraid to ask them to clarify. If you don't know anything about the topic asked about, be honest. Say you don't know anything about that particular topic, but you'd like to learn.
For an out-of-county interview, there are usually 2 to 4 people conducting the interview. Don't feel intimidated. Each of these people have had considerable experience with the 4-H program and want you to be successful. They are judges, though, and will be scoring you on your participation in 4-H, your demonstration of critical thinking, learning, and reflection, your citizenship and leadership experiences, and finally your self-expression, which includes poise, appearance, posture, articulation, and confidence. Let's watch a mock interview so you can see what to expect.
Welcome, Jenna. I'm glad you're interviewing with us today. Now, tell us about yourself.
Well, as you know, my name is Jenna Short, and I'm 17 years old, and I am an 8th year member in 4-H in Hamilton County. I am going to be a senior in high school, and I'm active not only in 4-H, but also in my school's show choir, chorus, drama program, speech, band, Spanish club, and cheerleading. In my community, I teach the 4 and 5-year-old Sunday school and sing in my church's choir. I also participate in my community theater, and I've also been a volunteer with Relay for Life and Kids Against Hunger. In 4-H, I've been a junior project leader in food nutrition for the last 3 years. I'm a member of County Council and State Council. I'm a state award winner in communication and was recently chosen to be a delegate of National Congress. I also serve as Hardin and Hamilton County's youth ambassador, and for the past 2 years I have been a junior camp counselor at the 4-H Center, and this summer I will be a volunteer at the state fair. In my project areas, I regularly help junior members prepare in showing their rabbits, prepare for communication events, and I serve as a judge's helper during the county fair. During my 4-H experience, I've participated in citizenship, food nutrition, communication, home improvement, woodworking, photography, visual arts, and rabbit. In my club, I have served as the reporter, the historian, the recreation leader, the photographer, and the communications leader.
Wow, you are really active. I see you want to attend state conference. Why do you want to go?
I want to attend state conference because I want to experience everything it has to offer. I want to learn, make new friends, and be a part of something great. State conference really helps me feel that 4-H is changing the world because I get to meet kids from all around the state and share ideas with them.
If you were sharing ideas about 4-H with other kids, what ideas would you share about the program?
I would share ideas about how to keep members in 4-H. For example, intermediate members need more opportunities, like state conference for seniors, to build enthusiasm for the program. We need junior high kids to get excited and stay excited about the program so they can build leadership skills for the future.
That sounds great. Thank you, Jenna, for coming into the interview. It was really nice meeting you.
You too.
We'll be contacting you sometime next week with the results.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing from you.
As you can see, interviewing does not have to be scary. Most of the questions you will be asked are about you, and you already know the answers. State award interviews are another opportunity to see your interviewing skills. Students can interview for recognition in project areas, apply to be a member of state council, or win an award trips to National Congress in Atlanta or National Conference in Washington, D.C. These awards are similar to the out-of-county interviews. They will begin by asking you to describe yourself, your accomplishments in 4-H, and extracurricular activities. The difference will be they will ask you questions that are specific to the recognition you are applying for. For example, if you're applying to state council, they might ask you what skills or experiences you would bring to state council that would make you an effective team member. For National Congress or National Conference, They might ask you what you would tell other 4-Hers in the country about Iowa. Let's revisit our earlier interview and see how it might develop for National Congress.
In my club, I have served as the reporter, historian, the recreation leader, the photographer, and the communications leader.
Wow, that's great. How would these experiences help you be a National Congress delegate?
Well, I'm very passionate about our program, and I'd like to see what other states are doing in their programs. I'd like to see how their programs are organized, how they celebrate and recognize success, and how they retain 4-Hers. Other programs may have also initiated programs both in agriculture and other areas that Iowa might not yet have, and I'd like to hear about which programs were successful and popular.
Wow, that sounds helpful.
As you can see, the interview for state project awards is fairly similar to out-of-county interviews. So is the judging criteria. The judges are looking to see evidence of your 4-H involvement at the local level and in your community, examples of your leadership, and what you might offer on the designated trip. It will be important for you that you emphasize your communication skills, your commitment to bettering the 4-H community, and why you are looking forward to the experience. Project award interviews are similar, but the judges will ask you specifics about your work within your project area. They are looking for examples when you have shown leadership, taught someone else about the project area, communicated about your learning or a topic in your project area, your goals in the project, and your overall knowledge. Let's revisit our interview and see a couple samples of a Food Nutrition State Project Award interview.
Wow, it sounds like you've been successful in 4-H and in school. Can you tell me a time in food nutrition when you weren't successful and how you handled it?
Well, one of my best examples is the year I decided to make Madeleine cookies for the fair. It was a really challenging recipe, and every time I baked them, they came out differently. Some were underbaked, some were burned. I changed the temperature and changed where to put them in the oven, but no matter what, no two pans were the same. I then started to think about the pans themselves. One pan was a shiny light metal, while the other was a darker metal. I researched about pans and cooking times. This led me to learn that dark-colored pans cook faster than shiny light-colored ones. I included this learning in my write-up, and now I share that information with my junior members when we bake.
That's great. How will you use what you learned in food and nutrition after high school?
Well, of course I'll continue cooking and baking, but food nutrition is more than that. It's taught me to read directions carefully to prepare before I begin, like reading the recipe and getting supplies ahead of time. It also has taught me to pay attention to details like measurements. It also taught me about food safety and making healthy choices and how to read a label, and all of these will be life skills that I will carry with me after high school.
As you can see, interviews aren't hard, but it is important to be prepared, be early, and to practice your interviewing skills.
Remember, a good interview starts with eye contact, a smile, and a firm handshake. Make sure to dress and act professionally during the interview.
Whether you are interviewing for a job, an out-of-county interview, or for state award interviews, you need to be prepared to put the best you out there. You have a lot to offer, and it is important that you know how to sell yourself.
I'm Jenna Short.
And I'm Ashley Dilley.
And we hope that next year you sign up to do those interviews. Approach them with confidence and wow those people on the other side of the table. We have enjoyed talking to you today. Thanks for listening.